Hello YouTube, this is Lucky from Great Gadgets and Gear. I wanted to do a quick review on some exercise mats. These are made by Proform. You can buy them at Amazon. They run anywhere from, I believe it's $20 to $25, and there's Roxy chiming in. You can see from the ad here. The blue ones are less than 20 bucks. They also come in gray and black. And these are actually the two to your left here. There's also another set. These are gray ones made by Proform. These are 3/4 of an inch thick. These are 1/2 inch thick. They're 24-inch square, and you get 6 of them in a package. And they come with these little borders, so you can see, you can make corners and connect them so they're all nice and neat. Or you can strip them off like that to connect the centerpieces. They're basic. They're exercise mats. What I wanted to talk to you about was the differences between these. You know, like I said, you get a nice range of colors. When I first started out, I bought the 3/4 inch thick mats. I thought, wow, the thicker the better. You know, they'll hold up longer. You'll feel less stuff under your feet, which is true. They do. I found myself tripping on them all the time, though, because of the height of them off of a wood floor. I was tripping on them. They do leave indentations, as you can see. That's from my weight bench, so it doesn't really matter the thickness. You know, durability wise, obviously the thicker ones would probably hold up a lot better. They all have problems at their joint areas. They're great for stationary things like ellipticals or weight benches or whatever, as far as like to exercise on, where you're, you know, jumping up and down on them or moving around on them. They can separate, they can buckle, so that's something to be aware of. So when I had these underneath my weight bench, and I went to order some more, and by my own fault, but ended up being to my benefit, I didn't notice the change in the thickness, and these went down to a 1/2 inch. So when I got them, I was kind of like, ah. But I actually liked the black a little better. It was a nice, deeper, richer look than the drabby gray. And then I seen the blue ones afterwards. Well, I had started laying out my floor, and then I realized, obviously, they're not going to match up to the original tiles. So I had an all-black floor. Well, then I decided to make a little change. I seen someone else's video they had made on Amazon, and they did a black and gray tile floor, and it looked nice, looked pretty cool. Gym equipment and gym in general, it's just so drab. So I wanted to change it up a little bit, so you can see in mine, I decided to do the blue and black checker. It is just so much brighter, but it's not a boring, you know, one color. And there's nothing wrong with one color if you just like one color. It's just, for me, I found it kind of boring. So I wanted it to be a little more vibrant when I came in here. I don't have any of the artwork up yet. I ordered a bunch of motivational posters and stuff like that for my gym. But anyways, that's another topic. But you can see, just from briefly moving my elliptical to place down the tiles, I mean, it indented quickly, and it stayed that way. So wherever you plan on putting your equipment, unless you want a bunch of really ugly divots everywhere, you can see to the weight too, it separates from it pressing down on the tiles there. You can see how they buckle a little bit from the weight, and that'll even happen on the thicker ones. I did notice when I was moving around in here and doing some stuff too, they will separate from pressure and jumping around. But they look great. I mean, as long as they hold up, they feel great underneath my feet, even at a 1/2 inch. You can see there, they separate a little bit there, space in there. They fit together better than some people have reported, though. I don't know if the company changed it or if they got a bad batch. But the designs look exactly the same. I mean, they look like they run off the same machine, the same molded machine. Just different material. Maybe they had bad material. But these worked out really great. The only warning I would give you about these, vacuuming. If you're going to vacuum over these, you know, to get up some dirt real quick before you mop them or whatever, do not leave the vacuum sit, because they will burn. If you could see that burn area there, they will burn the mat from being so hot. So I have a couple burns there. I have some extra mats, but I'm not going to replace them right now. I'm going to wait and see how these hold up over time. I have actually 3 blue, 3 black extra, so if I run into any damage, I can always replace them. But we'll see how they do over time. For the money I spent for my little area here, I ended up buying 4 packages. I only ended up using 3, but to get the color combination I wanted, that's the way I had to buy them, because the way they sell them. They don't sell them individually. They come 6 to a pack. They don't mix the packs, so they're either black or blue or gray. So it worked out really good for me. Like I said, as far as durability, we'll have to see over time. I think it's a really neat idea though. You can come up with all kinds of different configurations depending on the size of your room. They seem to work really well for the elliptical. It doesn't jump around, move, anything like that. Obviously, it doesn't slide or nothing like that. It does leave some pretty good indentations though, like I said. But overall, I'm pretty happy with them, and I would actually, for my use, I'm gonna stick with the 1/2 inch. I like them. The separation between the hardwood floor and the mats is minimal, so it's not so much of a trip hazard as the thicker gray ones. I mean, you can see that's, my camera focuses, you can. It's a pretty good jump up, so yeah, you can stub your toe on that thing pretty good, trip you up in your tennis shoes and stuff. So I decided to go with this option versus the individual rolled out mats that you can buy for ellipticals and stuff. I have one underneath my treadmill. They're very cost effective. They do the trick. They're not very attractive. They hold up okay. It all comes down to what you want, what you're looking for. You know, if you just want something, you know, cheap and, you know, just throw it under there, it does its purpose, they're great. You know, if you're looking for something a little more aesthetically pleasing, this might be a good option for you. So I just want to make a quick video there. I'm still, here's the elliptical that I got. It's all put together. The guy put it together in a 1/2 hour because I opened the box for him, took everything out, had everything laid out. All he had to do was pretty much come in and just put it together. All the pieces were where they needed to be. So he got it done rather quickly in a 1/2 hour. I'm still testing it. Since I never owned another elliptical, I won't be able to compare it to previous ellipticals. But right now I'm doing a comparison between this and the one at the gym, which I know is comparing apples and oranges, but it does make for a little bit more informative and interesting video than just on this elliptical. And I actually have seen problems with both, so it should be pretty cool. So when I get that all done, I'll get that up as well. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this helped you out at all. If you have any questions, comments, need any further information about the mats or something, drop me a line down in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Thanks again for staying tuned. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the videos on my channel. And until the next video, take care.